Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we gotta talk about RFK Jr. Because he's been everywhere recently. He recently was in Buenos Aires, where he met with the Argentinian Minister of Health. They are not, they're not backing down, and they're going to continue what we are doing continuously. So obviously, we got to talk about RFK Jr. and how he is doing in regards to his term in private office. Obviously, he's doing pretty good, and obviously, Democrats melting down on everything that obviously that is supposed to be good makes them look very bad, because we have to talk about the multiple different policies that RFK Jr. has enacted. Specifically, the biggest one just releasing today, RFK Jr. announces policy change on COVID-19 vaccine. You know, that vaccine that we decided we rushed to put together, and only to not only know the side effects. Yeah, that vaccine that we don't really necessarily know that was safe. And if anyone that questioned the safety of this vaccine was canceled. So, yeah, finally we have a health official, a secretary of health that's actually looking at this vaccine and saying, okay, we don't necessarily know what's in this. We know what's in this vaccine, but is this going to impact you in the future? All right. So obviously, RFK Jr. now is saying that he no longer recommends this for kids and pregnant women. Of course, Democrats are flipping out, like the vaccine. I don't know what it is today, but like the virus is back again. But the truth is, I think if it were to come back again, humans have adapted to it so much. I've had COVID. Everyone's had COVID. I mean, I've never met anyone that didn't have COVID. That you would generally your body will generally fight it well. But obviously, we do need to take seriously on the impacts that this vaccine has. So, reading the article, it says the federal government has removed COVID-19 vaccines from the list of shots recommended for healthy, pregnant women and children, federal health officials announced Tuesday. I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced in a video posted on X, "We're now one step closer for realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again. The decision will make it much harder for parents to get their children." Okay. Yeah, obviously. This article, we not surprised, but they're simping. This decision will make it much harder for parents to get their children vaccinated, and for pregnant women, by the way, pregnant women to get the shots, because insurance companies will likely no longer pay for them. Yeah, this article is already dooming. But then again, do you need the shot? Do you need the shot? This article is like, this is so bad. No, the virus is over. You get the flu. More people get the flu than COVID. More people get the flu. And yet we have a flu vaccine. The RFK Secretary Kennedy is getting questioned by these far left senators in the hearing, saying, "Oh, you're trying to, what about measles vaccine, flu vaccine, yada, yada, yada." And you got to understand, RFK Jr. is not against all vaccines. We just need to question, are they safe? And I can guarantee you, and the answer is, not all of them are. But notice, Democrats, not one Democrat senator, not one Democrat congressman or woman has actually said some vaccines aren't safe. None of them do, because there's a reason why they don't, because they're making money from them. Okay? That's number one. Number two, that's an issue to campaign on, to get the stupid people to vote for them. Because, they're trying to take away your health care. They want grandma to die. They're trying to take grandma's medicine away. They're trying to take grandma's shot. They're trying to take grandma's vaccine. This is what they try to do. And the stupidest of stupidest people will always fall for it. Because, then again, it's just, this is why they're stupid people, because Washington has always lied to you. Washington's always lied to us. But these stupid people will go and say, why would Washington lie to us? No, because they want your vote. So obviously, a vaccine that humans have lived for most of... This vaccine existed for how many years now? 5 years? We have survived thousands and thousands and thousands of years without this stupid vaccine. And the left is boo-hoo, whining, crying like the world's going to end. Like there's going to be another pandemic. And I'll tell you what, everyone's got the vaccine. And that's something we really need to be concerned about. Everyone's got the vaccine, right? Well, not everyone. But due to the left and their stupid propaganda and their fear-mongering, a lot of people felt forced to take the vaccine. Well, it's really bad that we don't know, and we can't say that this won't impact you in the future. Like, will this cause future conditions? Will this implement cancer? Or is it cancerous in the future? You see, questions like that. You're right. That's right-wing conspiracy. Well, it's not right-wing conspiracy. It's a concern. It's not a conspiracy. It's a concern. And it's a right concern to have. Can I trust this? And the left, they absolutely can't stand it when we ask that question. Can I trust you, what you're offering me? They can't stand it. And they literally lose it because they don't like questions like that. They just want you to take their vaccine. Well, like the left always says, my body, my choice. I think it's our bodies, right? It's our body. We want to make sure we are being safe. And that, hey, for people that do have chronic medical conditions, they're taking a safe vaccine. And that's the thing. People with medical conditions, underlying medical conditions too also, they got to be careful, especially, they have every right to question the vaccine because you don't know what they're injecting into their body is going to make their condition worse, or it's going to put them into an unfortunate situation. So, absolutely, but then again, the left will never actually even give them permission, even the people with underlying medical conditions, the right to question the vaccine. They will never do that because then again, two reasons. A, money. Two, actually three, power, right? They want power. Power and money should go together. And number two is a talking point, right? If they actually double down on supporting the American people and their concerns to what's in the vaccines, then they're going to lose a talking point, they're going to lose an issue to campaign on, and they're going to lose money. So it's understandable why the left is panicking, and they want people to continue to get this silly vaccine. I go into the store, I go into the library, I go into Walgreens, what do I see? COVID-19 vaccine. I'm like, we didn't have this during 2019, 2018, and prior, before COVID. We didn't have this. And the thing is, we don't need it. It's because the left is making money off of it. Walgreens is making money off of it. These companies are making money out of it. They're making money out of fear and intimidation and uncertainty. So, obviously, RFK 100% right to actually say, hey, look, we are no longer recommending the COVID-19 vaccine, especially for kids and pregnant women. Now, I think it's still being recommended, but it's no longer being recommended to kids and pregnant women. Why? Because pregnant women, we know they're vulnerable in different ways. We know being a pregnant woman, that can be life-threatening sometimes. That can put you in life-threatening situations. Now, if you get pregnant, I'm not saying if you get pregnant and you're in a life-threatening situation. No, obviously. If every woman got pregnant and died from pregnancy, that would, of course, would result to very little humans being on Earth. But I'm telling you, like, being pregnant and the choices you make with your body when you're pregnant, like, for example, drinking, okay, and going jogging, running, going on roller coasters, big one. Don't do that when you're pregnant. They never ever, when you go to the amusement park, they will tell you straight out, don't go on this roller coaster if you're pregnant. Why? Because it's not just because it's bad for the baby, it's bad for you. It can put you in knock you off unconscious, and it can kill you. I can't explain the science of that, but science has proven that, you know what? When you're pregnant as a woman bearing a child, with the choices you make and what you do, you're limited. You're limited as a pregnant woman, and your life is at stake. I don't know, your life is at stake. Your health, you should be careful with your health. And that's why RFK Jr. is rightfully saying pregnant women shouldn't get this vaccine. Number one, we don't know what's in it. And it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you do that? It's cruelty, really. To force pregnant women to take a vaccine that you don't know what's in, and you don't know the consequences in the future, just for marketing and getting money. That's cruel. That's absolutely selfish and cruel. Kids also, because kids have weaker immune systems, right? Their immune systems are just developing. And they're young. They're, of course, energetic. But then again, we don't know. I would say they're less vulnerable compared to pregnant women, simply because by the time this vaccine would begin the effects, the consequences of this vaccine, these kids would be like adults, young adults, or something like that. So obviously, but then again, they are, of course, minors. And we want to make sure that, of course, and the thing is, this country is completely taken out of context. We completely disregarded the term minor. We just totally threw it in the garbage, and we said, screw the word minor. We're going to treat minors, kids, like adults now, where we're giving them access to pornography in public schools, and we're having these serious, inappropriate conversations about sex ed in math class. It's just ridiculous. We forgot that, okay, adults saying that to kids that they don't have any custody over, then this could be interpreted as child predatory actions toward a minor. So, but then again, teachers, we have to defend the teachers, but I'm glad to say that, hey, look, we're looking at the quality of human life. We're looking at human life. We're saying a child. We're saying, okay, kids, we don't know. It's not right to put a vaccine into a kid, especially we don't know what's actually in that vaccine to a minor. Okay, it's like giving alcohol to a minor. Like, that is unacceptable. You could be arrested for giving alcohol to a 7-year-old. It's not going to, it can, alcohol poisoning is deadly. But even just a little bit, like a glass, that can put the child in an unsafe situation, intoxication. Being a smaller child, you get intoxicated quicker compared to a adult. 1 glass of vodka would be enough. And that's a ticket to jail, for instance. You put that child, the minor, in an unsafe situation. And it's the same deal with the COVID-19 vaccine, because we don't know, and it's unpredictable, just like alcohol. We know alcohol is consequential. It delivers it delivers unpredictable situations and symptoms. But alcohol is not life threatening. You will feel a little dozed off a little bit the next day, and 2 days later you're fine. But alcohol towards a minor can be consequential, just like giving this vaccine to a minor is also consequential. But it's basically unpredictable. But yeah, the left, they're boohoo, whining, and crying, of course. And you have political whining and crying about RFK Jr. threatening to bar government scientists from publishing in leading medical journals. We know what they're trying to do when it comes to that. These are defamation tactics, but obviously we got to focus. RFK is not focused on getting money like Anthony Fauci was, downplaying the severities of the vaccine and the consequences that vaccine did, and instead gaining millions. If you ask me, he's the unelected oligarch. And it's very ironic that Democrats want to go after Elon Musk, even though Elon Musk has been in the government now he's out of the government. He's been in there for 5 months, while Anthony Fauci was in government for, I want to believe it, almost 2 years. And they were 100% supporting Anthony Fauci. I mean, there's little kid books about Anthony Fauci, America's Doctor. The one book is titled Anthony Fauci. Little, I don't want to say kindergarten book, but a elementary school book. You go into Target and you'll see it. It's just, you see how hypocritical they are. And as far as I'm concerned, Fauci's done nothing for America except for gain money. But obviously, we also have to talk about the RFK's next move, and that was specifically banning food. I want to believe food stamps when it comes to gaining unhealthy beverages. So we're going to actually take a look at this clip. He's in Indiana, working with the Republican administration, the governor's mansion in Indianapolis, to work on a ban on using food stamps to purchase unhealthy beverages. So let's go ahead and take a look at this said video.
To follow the lead of Indiana and to file with Brooke Rollins, who's my partner in Maha, head of USDA. She is right now at this very moment in Arkansas with Governor Sarah Huckabee announcing the application for SNAP waivers for sodas in that state. This is the first state that has added candy to the SNAP waivers. I'm very, very proud of you, Governor, for doing that. I look at Governor Braun as a really important partner in the Maha movement, and a great leader. And I'm very, very grateful for you taking this very ambitious steps that you've taken today. And not only that, I'll say this: there's a couple of states that I've been to where we've announced SNAP waivers, but we haven't.
Okay, we'll stop there. But then again, we did a similar video of this earlier this year, and I'll say it again. Democrats don't like this, because then again, we have not a healthcare system, but a sick care system. Okay, sick care system versus healthcare system. Healthcare system will deliver hard truths and they will push their patients to be responsible, to be accountable. Sick care is a government-sponsored support, basically, like, for instance, Medicare and Medicaid, that will get, like, for instance, someone who is, in this case, struggling with obesity. What does the government do? For instance, they'll give you money to help you with that obesity problem, right? That's to help you if you happen to experience any sort of condition or an accident, or you end up going into the hospital, or a heart attack or something like that. So, and what do you do and use that money for? Well, you use that money for your health care, right? But you see, we keep giving the money out, expecting improvement. But what do we keep seeing? For instance, we'll just say Miss Peterson ends up in the hospital again for the 20th time. What is Miss Peterson going to do to make sure she doesn't go into the hospital a 21st time? Nothing. Does she try to improve her life, her lifestyle? And I'm talking about a person who doesn't really have a chronic disease that causes obesity. There's not very many. I'm talking about poor eating choices. Poor eating choices, going to Dairy Queen or McDonald's every single day, every day for lunch, even though you have this condition. And this results in you going into the hospital. But here you're getting more free money. You see, this is a sick care system. And the doctors, well, maybe there are some doctors that will say, hey, Miss Peterson, you got to stop doing this. Still, the system, we're still a sick care system. Just because one doctor decided to tell a hard truth, good for that doctor. But that doesn't mean we're not in a sick care system. Because obviously, it's a cycle. Miss Peterson goes home, gets her check, spends it on herself, ends up back in the hospital, she goes back home again, and it repeats. So, obviously, the question is, okay, we are going to actually go as far as eliminating food, okay? And the Democrats will go boo-hoo, whine, and cry about it. They're going from banning books to banning candy! Banning unhealthy food. Period. And we're not banning, and this is what Democrats will do. They'll say RFK is straight out banning food. But he's not. In cases like Indiana and Arkansas, like Secretary Kennedy is just mentioning, he's preventing people to purchase unhealthy beverages and candy with food stamps. Okay? Food stamps, of course, they're already boo-hoo, whining, and crying over the Trump administration requiring single parents and parents that are working for the food stamp, that are receiving food stamps from the government, to work in order to get those food stamps. Liberal movement, they're going out and they're saying that kids, Trump is forcing little kids, 7-year-olds, to work. This is so bad. Even though that obviously is misinformation, check this out.
Age from 18 to 7. So I just need to know in August, are we sending them back to school or are we sending them to work? Because if the dependent age is now 7, you trying to say they dependent. If I'm not mistaken, back in the day, they used to work at that age, right? So is he trying to tell us that they need to go back to work? Because I don't think Trump know that these kids ain't regular kids. These kids will flip out if they ain't got they tablets. Now, is we putting them in IT? Is we teaching them kids how to code? They might like that. We're going to have to figure out them some jobs because they ain't going to do regular jobs. They barely listen to them them teachers. Like, these employers is about to catch hell. They gonna be babysitters. And don't put me at the same company as my kids. I don't want to work with them. I already got to be with them at home. Like, y'all done already took them out of school, so now y'all want them to work, and then don't put them as the same company as me. Like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Like, and how much is you paying these kids? Because if you gonna, my 7-year-old he needs to get paid well. But he can't work for pennies, so that ain't gonna work either. Then you can't even disrespect that people kids, because now they gotta leave their job to go to this job. They're gonna probably, oh my Lord, Trump ain't thinking this out. He ain't thinking this out clearly. And then the big families is definitely gonna get the most, like, to hit the most.
Okay. Now we're out of alternative reality, out of cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world. She's living an alternate history or alternate future world where, and we know, no, ma'am, I don't know what your name is. I don't follow you, and I don't want to follow you, because I don't know what else you're lying to me and your viewers about. But this lady, it's not your 7-year-old kid that's going to work. It's you. It's you. Trump is forcing you to work, not your child. And you see what the left tries to do? The left is trying to create this fear and panic about your 7-year-old kid going to work in order to receive a food stamp. And that's not true. It's actually you. You, the parents, going to work to get food stamps. So you get what we're saying here. So the left has created this very, very, very weird reality. But then again, when it comes to the Maha's goal, we're basically going to trying to focus on making kids more healthier. And unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where, we got to make it hard for you to get these very unhealthy drinks and these very unhealthy candy in these. And we're going to go as far as saying you can't use food stamps. Food stamps are meant to help provide for your family. Help put food on your table. Not candy. Not poisonous liquid. That's what food stamps are. But here's the left. They're coming back again. They're crying fat phobia because they're saying that we're trying to eliminate the obese community. They always do this, and I'll guarantee you, when this takes off, they will cry fat phobia. They're trying to erase obese people. That's what they will do it because they're crying. They're crying erasing when it comes to illegal immigrants, even though they're not supposed to be here. They're going to say the same thing when it comes to people with struggling with obesity, and we're saying, we're trying to fix them. We are trying to help them. It's like they want people that are obese to remain obese. And like, dude, what are you talking about? Because they get money from it. They get money from it, and they might get a vote if they victimize that person enough. So obviously, I think RFK Jr. is doing an amazing job. And we know he's doing an amazing job because, number one, he's getting the establishment mad. He's getting scientists mad. He's getting the right people mad. Okay? The only person we don't want RFK to get mad is Donald Trump. If he doesn't get Donald Trump and our base mad, and we know that he's very common sense on that, I think we're good. He's getting the lunatics mad, and if the lunatics are mad, that's fine. If Politico's mad and kicking and whining and crying about scientists, hey, guess who runs Politico? I don't want to know. They're probably communists. I don't care if they're mad about it. If NPR is mad about pregnant women and kids getting a vaccine that is no longer needed, let them be mad about it. It's like Spanish flu, right? When was the Spanish flu? 1919? Over 100 years ago? It's like NPR, I guarantee you, we eliminate the... They would cry about that. If we had a Spanish flu vaccine from 1919, and we didn't really have vaccines back then, but if there was such thing and we happened to discover one, and RFK said, nah, we don't need this anymore, the left would boo-hoo on and cry. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't with these people. RFK Jr. could find a cure for cancer, and they would still boo-hoo on and cry. Because, obviously, they view RFK Jr. as a traitor. No surprise, because the Kennedys were the face of the Democratic Party for a very long time. And the Kennedys are what actually made the Democratic Party until it didn't become the Democratic Party anymore. It's actually now unrecognizable. And, of course, they're mad at RFK Jr. for leaving the Democratic Party because they know that RFK Jr. is relevant. They know RFK Jr. is related to this guy, Robert Kennedy, who is his father, who was assassinated. And his brother was the president, the guy who helped shape the Democratic Party we used to know, and that suddenly fell apart just very recently. So, obviously, and you see the Kennedys now backing the Republican Party, and I'm not saying they're transforming the Republican Party too. The Republican Party is suddenly getting behind this Maha stuff, because back then, it's true, the George Bush Republicans of the world, they could care less about health. They could care less about helping little Jimmy lose weight. They could care less. A lot of the Republicans just want to just basically cut Social Security. And I'm glad Republicans woke up and just said, okay, cutting Social Security isn't going to help. American people, here's the thing, Republicans, they recognize when we're wrong about the issue. When it comes to cutting Medicare, Social Security, that's unpopular. Okay, let's try to help people use Social Security and Medicare as less as possible. We don't want you to have Social Security and Medicare. It's not a good thing. So we're going to help you avoid it. Now, if you're on Social Security and Medicare, fine. You could be on Social Security and Medicare. I'm on Social Security. I mentioned that. But let's help the future generation not get to that point. By helping them, these kids, in losing weight, helping them avoid eating these junk food, helping them question safe and unsafe scenarios. Like, for example, the vaccine. Is this vaccine safe? You have a right to question that because you're injecting that thing into your body. So if you're injecting something you don't know is safe into your body, you have 100% a right to say, is that safe? You have 100% a right. And if the doctor, the medical provider wants to cry about it, let him cry about it. I don't care. Kick rocks. I want to make sure I'm safe. And they take it as a huge insult, like, oh, you don't trust me. Yeah, it's not that, don't take it personally. It's not that we don't trust you. We just don't trust the system. Because unfortunately, the hierarchs are gaining lots of money from this. But anyway, I think RFK Jr. is doing an amazing job making America healthy. Again, this is going to be very consequential in getting America back on the right track. The stereotype of Americans being unhealthy, they go ahead and in the left, they go and say, oh, Americans are so privileged, they're so selfish, and yeah, let's take away the candy then. And then all of a sudden, they're mad that we're taking away the candy. They don't want to help. They don't want to solve the problem. So anyway, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.